Farm of Life family. Welcome.
Familia de Finca de Vida.
That's right, that's right. The man, the myth, the legend. We call him the British Buddha.
British Buddha.
Adam Lucas, Farm of Life family. Here he is. There he is.
Adam.
Really great guy.
We really enjoyed Adam.
Really enjoyed Adam. Adam has a great energy. Just a really loving, friendly guy. Always willing to help out. Just really, he's got a great attitude about life.
And you came in with a great attitude about what you're going through right now.
And even came in with a great attitude. And I tell you, some people don't. Adam, take it away. Adam had colitis, and he's going to give you a little bit of a brief history about, you know, why he thinks he got his colitis. So take it away.
Why I got my colitis? I guess.
Yeah,
that's,
why do you think
yeah,
that way?
How do I get to that
what
point?
Was
I
it?
think there's, you know, I think with something like colitis, there's so many different aspects of the last 29 years that could have built up to the point where I got that kind of disease and inflammation, you know, lifestyle and genetics and
stress, diet.
Well, that's the thing. You were like myself. Yeah. You and I have had a lot of conversation here, right? You partied a bit, right?
Yeah.
You know, you did a little. You know, you tipped it back a bit, maybe the pints of Guinness. Yeah. You know, before the football games.
That's right.
You know, and you know, like I said, lifestyle. You know, what other things do you think really contributed?
Well, one thing I always go back to is I think when I was growing up, it was probably from being a baby until I was about 17, I didn't eat any vegetables, especially anything green.
No fruits and veggies.
You know? And so I just imagine as I was growing, that crucial stage of my digestive system growing, my whole body growing, it was never fed anything really nourishing. I ate fruits, but never any vegetables.
Yeah.
And I think that would, you know, definitely be a factor.
Well, it plays a role, right?
Plays a role. But then, you know, on top of that, there's a family history of colitis.
Okay. Family history of colitis.
So my sister has it. I've got cousins who also have it. Yeah.
When did you first get colitis?
My first symptoms was 3 years ago, December 2009, exactly 3 years. Yeah. I was doing, I was going through a 1-year teaching conversion.
Yep.
Which was really, really stressful because they packed 4-year degree into a 1-year masters.
So a lot of stress.
A lot of stress. You know, you're thrown into classroom situations where it's, you know, really difficult without any experience, and you have a huge amount of responsibilities. It's definitely stressful. And
being a school teacher, I know exactly what he's talking about.
And I'd recently split up with one long-term girlfriend and kind of started a new relationship, and that was all quite confusing.
So work stress, emotional stress.
So there was stress, which would have been, I would attribute to the final trigger.
Sure.
Not necessarily the whole cause.
Sure.
But it's, you know, it's not surprising looking back. Not that I realised at the time, but looking back.
And it never is really, you know, it's a, you know, improper diet. Generally it always is for illness, you know. It may not just be colitis, but it's improper diet, improper thoughts, stress, all of that stuff. And then all of a sudden an event happens and then boom, now you've got a chronic illness all of a sudden, right?
Yeah. And it took, at first, you know, I was told, you know, see the doctor, and I was told, no, it's gastroenteritis, don't worry about it, and it went away. But I was never fully got to be 100% healthy that year when it turned 2010, you know. And I remember people saying to me, "Oh, Adam, you've lost weight. And I was like, really? I've lost, you know, like, yeah, you're looking thinner in your face and all those kind of things, and just didn't notice that was a kind of like an underlying symptom of what was going on.
Right.
And then it's, you know, started to kept coming back, symptoms are coming back all throughout 2010, and finally sort of got to see a specialist at a time that I was feeling really unwell, and he eventually diagnosed ulcerative
colitis.
So I mean, you know, become ulcerative colitis.
So you were going the Western medicine route there for a while, probably like a year and a half.
Yeah, I did. So that's like, I did 2 years on medicine, but at the time when I was diagnosed, you know, and the doctor, as I was lying on the colonoscopy table, you know, with the
video.
I'm sitting there, you know, with the TV screen watching my insides go around, you know, he hands me the prescription of the medication there and then, right?
Wow.
He's like, you know, and go and get these pills.
Yeah.
And you know, that was the start. They didn't work. Yeah. So I came back 3 weeks later. Okay, add these ones in.
Oh,
right.
man, now you're on 2.
Yeah. And even before that point, you know, I'd already expressed to my family that I didn't really want to get stuck into medication. I didn't believe in it that much, and
you also had the example of your sister.
Yeah.
With colitis.
Yeah.
Right.
She's had colitis for 10 years, and she's been battling it for
and
for
medicines.
That long. She's
not
on
helping
medicines. Her. Luckily now she's stable and she's found a medication that really works for her. I don't think at that time that wasn't
the case.
Yeah. But even at that time I was researching, trying to find like an alternative or a natural route, but it was very, very confusing. Actually, I came across David Klein's book, and that was the first thing I got, was the self-healing Crohn's and colitis.
Nice.
And I got it off the internet, you know, within 5 days of diagnosis, and but I'd already started the medication, right? Yeah. And everything that my family was saying, that you know, you just
it's tough.
It's tough to.
You're being intuitively guided
to go with my family. I'm saying that the experts are there, and the experts are saying this is what you've got, and this is what you need to take to get over it. Okay?
Yeah.
And it's very hard to ignore that.
It is hard because you're being intuitively guided. Your higher self saying, no, go this way. You know, you need to go in this direction. But then you got family and friends, and then of course Western medicine saying, no, that's wrong. That's wrong. You got to do
and
this.
And it all sounds sensible, and of course it's sensible because you need to speak to the experts, the people who really know. And at the time, I didn't know anything about colitis or what that meant, or what kind of disease it was, and how that was going to affect me, or anything.
So finally, anyway, obviously you break through. Finally, you know what? I don't want to listen to family and friends anymore. You guys are going to have to support me. I'm going to go the natural route. When was that? Tell us about that.
So, I guess I got to a point. I decided that I was going to give medication. I was doing the medication thing, so I had to give it the best shot I've got. And I was like, gave it 2 years. And I knew I was getting to a point where medication just isn't working. You know?
Right. Yeah.
I'm taking one after the other. It's getting stronger. I'm not getting any good response. So it's like, I think I'm coming to the end here. And the last time I saw my doctor, you know, he was like, Adam, look, really, I've not got anything to offer you. You know.
Oh, at least he was honest.
Yeah. He's actually been a really good guy.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Dr. Bloom in London.
Hello, Dr. Bloom. Thank you for being honest.
He was like, you can do some experimental medications, you know, I can go in there and spray some stuff on you, or otherwise we can talk about surgery. And I was, you know, straight away I was just like, you know, there's just no way, and you know, you're taking anything out of me right now. You know, I'm just too young, it's too severe, it's too final, you know, to say it might be a cure to take my colon out. And I'm 29 years old.
No way.
And I want to live for another 50, 60 years.
200 years, Adam. 200. You're gonna be like,
you're a Buddha.
Yeah. So no, I feel you.
I said to him, look, I'm gonna try a different path, and he said, go for it.
That's great. That's great. Thank you, Dr. Bloom. And so how did you discover, you know, first of all, you discovered Kleine, our boy Kleine.
Yeah, our man Kleine.
Husband.
Yeah.
You started doing the Dr. David Klein's protocol when?
I started at the beginning of October. Yeah.
Beginning of October. So not that long ago, he started this.
So I gradually got to that point. I've been researching and reading and all sorts of stuff for the last 2.5 years. And in the summer I came across food combining, and that really interested me, and I did a week plan or something, just food combining.
Sure.
And that made a difference. I mean, it wasn't the
mind blowing, but right.
I noticed what it did is by separating out the foods, I noticed how my body was reacting to certain things, and it made digestion easier, and you know, some symptoms sort of you know, leveled out a little bit, which was nice. And then I remembered food combining. I'm sure our old man Kleine was on about that when I sort of flicked through his book 2 years ago.
Absolutely, that's important.
So I got the book back out and really read it this time, because I'd never really read it at the beginning. I just skipped to the, you know, the diet bit. I read the whole book and I was like, I'm I'm going to do this.
I'm all in.
This is now the right time to do it.
And how did you hear about our place?
So, I think it was through David Klein. You know, he's in that book.
Thanks, Kleiny.
Yeah, he gives out a lot of links, and through one of those links, I think was linked to this place. And I'd already, once I'd started the Klein plan, I thought it would be amazing to do it in a place that was exactly set up for achieving health and wellness in the kind of raw food style.
Farmer life. We're in the middle of nowhere in the jungles of Costa Rica. Beautiful mountain setting.
Fruit is
beautiful
abundant.
Sun, clean air, spring water. I'm not marketing. No, not at all.
But what I wanted, I guess how I equated it was that in London, in the city life, in the smog, in busy,
cold rain,
cold.
It's challenging. It can be challenging.
It was tough. And certainly the first 6 weeks of doing the plan was tough, and I felt like I was kind of swimming against the tide. You've got so many temptations, and you've got everyone else is doing their normal thing, and I've got to be the one that's completely different from everybody else.
Right.
Different diet, different mentality, different lifestyle.
You feel a bit left out.
When in this critical stage of going through the healing process, I just wanted to be amongst people who were on the same
like-minded.
side, swimming with the tide.
Not arguing with you like my family did, or everyone's skeptical. Yes.
I have to say, my friends and my family and my girlfriend have been incredibly supportive.
That's excellent.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, they've been with me all the way, and that's made a huge difference.
That's really good.
But coming here, found a new family.
That's right.
Right here.
The Farmer Life family.
Yeah.
You're my brother, my British brother.
I feel it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I've spent the month with this guy. We had a lot of conversations, tons. Because he was always up there in the morning. You were always up there doing your practice, right? So you found our place. Tell us a little bit about daily. Give us daily. What did you do? What did you do here daily? And now you've developed. This is what we do here. Adam's developed a program to where he can plug it in now. He can go back and do this in England. Tell us your day.
So, pretty much, I'd wake up with the sun.
Yep.
I keep my curtains open, and as it starts to get light around 5:30, just wake up that time. Train myself to gulp down a nice big glass of barley grass juice powder.
Nice.
As a nutrient hit in the morning, and then head out to the sunrise. No, over to the vortex.
Over to the morning vortex, clear, right?
For a little bout of sun gazing.
A little gaze.
Yeah. Into the beautiful.
A little kiss with the golden disc.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
The golden disc.
So yeah, that's me with sun gazing.
Your diamond mudra.
Which is I'd heard about the sun gazing. So I've seen some of the videos that you were on about before, and I just like what? A little crazy. What does that mean? Because obviously you can't look at the sun, right? Everyone knows that. But it's been amazing to experience that. To the morning sun when it's not so bright, and you can actually stare into the sun. Not even cover it, and just feel the warmth and to get that kind of starter energy for the day, and just having never looked at the sun before, it's just amazing to stare into it for as long.
I can see that brightness in your eyes too.
The twinkle.
Oh yeah, little twinkle. Absolutely. It's really because light. I mean, the sun is just classic light therapy, right? I mean, fruits and vegetables have a certain color which corresponds to a certain frequency of the sun, which heals the body. Well, you can go directly to the source. You get your light therapy from the sun a little bit, while you're healing here. And it works, boy. It works. It really, sun gazing helps people big time. And you can look at it during those safe hours easily, and it can heal you. It can transform you, And then after that, you did your qigong work, right, in yoga.
Yeah. Yes. Just to say a little secret thing that I managed to sneak in was during sun gazing. I had like specific back exercises that I was doing to kind of strengthen up my back that I could do at the same time, as well as go over the affirmations that I'd been working on during this month.
Yeah, because that's another thing we help people with, their thoughts, right? Yeah. Getting rid of the anger, the resentment, the monkey mind, and to switch him.
So
and
there was like a 3-in-1
absolutely.
hit, you know, right at
Yep.
the start of the sun goes in. And then I've been lucky enough to work with Jodie over the last 3 weeks, who's helped me develop a yoga and a qigong practice. So that, you know, first of all, I just followed her practice, and she's helped me find the moves and the flow that resonated with me, and then allowed me to do that. It's given me the independence to do it by myself.
Yeah, that's really amazing.
Which is amazing. Thank you, Jodie.
Thank you so
you're
much.
Welcome.
My wonderful wife, she just got certified in Tao Flow Yoga, and I think the universe really brought it to us, right? Because, you know, I mean, at first, like maybe when you were taking the class, right, you're like, oh, this is a little slow, yada yada. But now all the people that are really enjoying the movement of the energy, right, rather than something like a hatha yoga or an ashtanga yoga, which is really too difficult for someone healing to do. And so it's such an appropriate yoga.
It's a perfect fit for this farm because Qigong Tao Flow is about self-healing, and that's what the majority of our guests are doing while they're here.
And when people leave here, the goal of Pharma Life is when people leave here, they're their own little yogi. So they got their little yogi box.
Sure.
And so now the Tao Flow Yoga is just another sort of cog in the wheel in their yogi box.
Yeah. And Adam's yoga, you know, it focuses on stimulating digestion and working with your spine, and you can really focus on someone's specific issues.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So yeah, now I can take exactly that and go out on my balcony back in London.
Yeah, we had a special spot, I gotta say.
Yeah, we got a beautiful spot there.
We have a platform perched over the valley. You can't beat it at sunrise.
It couldn't be much better in the morning. Yeah, it's really quite amazing. And then you would be sunbathing too, right?
Yeah,
and then the green juices and fruits.
Yeah. So yeah, then you know, sunbathe at the end of the yoga qigong, trying to get vitamin D and perhaps a bit of colour, though I'm not sure I managed too much colour.
You got some?
Yeah, a little.
You got more than when you first came.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then back to the Harvest House, right? The restaurant.
Yep.
For whatever phase I was going through, you know, I've been through various phases of different fruits, I think, over the last month, but currently in a big watermelon phase.
Good.
And pineapple.
Pineapple.
That's another thing we teach people here, to intuitively eat. And so instead of being like, no, you're to eat this and this and this, we give people sort of a mapping, right? And then you choose. You're like, what do I need right now? What is my body asking me? Is it asking me for pineapple? Is it asking me for watermelon? Because it really will. When you get into this lifestyle, you'll be intuitively guided towards certain foods. And that's great. Right now you're on the watermelon kick.
Yeah.
Until that you don't want to do that anymore, then you move to something else. So now there's one more really key element, right? So these are the things that you did during the day.
Yeah.
One more key element, and I think it's really key for anyone, and we definitely need to talk about this, is one day, it was an exciting day for you. You were like, that's it, I'm not taking pills anymore.
It's my last one.
He's like, this is it, I'm done. What was the name of that pill? I forget.
Mezavan. It's like a
Mezavan, anti-inflammatory, right?
Yeah, mesalazine.
And you know, all of us at some point, myself, my wife included, and everyone who's had chronic illness, you lead on this pill. The pill is like, oh, you know, I mean, I've got my pill. Everything will be fine. I'll be okay. It'll get me out of, you know, hairy situations. And it's sort of a crutch. And then when you come into this lifestyle, there's a point where you got to say goodbye to the pill.
Well, it's also the point when you're ready. You're ready emotionally. You feel empowered. You've maybe have all the pieces of the puzzle in place in terms of sunbathing, and yoga and the diet.
You feel you're ready.
You're ready. You're strong enough.
And Adam felt ready, and he said goodbye. And I didn't, you know, nobody said anything to him because I don't like to tell people, well, you might have a flare up, because you may not. And why put that into his mentality? But he did a bit, you know, for a couple of days, right? You had, you know,
you had
some bleeding.
Yeah, so, I mean, I was totally ready to get rid of it. I've been looking forward to, you know, I'd systematically gone down 4, 3, 2, 1 pills, you know, and then I was ready, 0. And it was great, you know, we did a little ceremony and it was down and gone. But yeah, 2 days later, I did notice, you know, suddenly, you know, I needed the frequency of me going to the toilet, you know,
increased a bit.
And they started
lack of energy, right? The one morning you weren't out there, you know. It's like, oh, where's Adam? You know,
and there was some bleeding, and and then that's tough. And then you start then it starts to play on your mind. You know, I didn't actually think it was going to make a difference. You know, didn't think this medication was doing anything anyway. So I thought, oh, it doesn't matter. I'll just, you know, I'll get off it and that's fine.
Right.
Nothing will happen. But yeah, it did. And then I started thinking, well, I could have come off slow. I could have halved the pills, and then I could have quartered it, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had
some good conversations, and I was like, hang in there, man. Stick with it. At some point, you're not gonna need these anymore. And so why not do it now, in this setting? And he stayed with it, and literally 2 more days later, you're back. No more symptoms.
Yeah.
You'll never need the drug again.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Woohoo!
Booyah! The British Buddha
Bingo.
transforms himself here at the Farm of Life. So what are your goals? Yeah, what do you plan on? So you're going back to England, sunny, and it's very very similar. It's like a tropical paradise. That's there. Right. I've heard.
You know, just slot straight back in. You know, I've
got coconut trees.
I'm surrounded by orchard.
Wow.
Yeah, coconut trees. I've got my machete.
Waiting for him.
That's right.
So yeah, talk to us a little bit about, obviously you're going to plug this lifestyle back in there, and you've met during this month, you've actually met some people from England, and so you've developed kind of a base so you can ask lots of questions and find out farmers markets and different foods, right?
Yeah. I mean, it is possible.
It is anywhere
to do it in London. I was on the plan before I came here, and so with the diet thing, that's going to be easy to kind of get back in.
Yeah.
I think it's just about me finding a bit, bringing a bit more nature into my life, which actually London is a very green city, and it's there for you if you want to go and get lost in the forest. You can. It is possible. And we have sunrise and sunset like everybody else.
That's awesome. And you got the earth. You can walk a little bit barefoot in the spring and the summer. And you can really get focused and just pretty much transform yourself.
It's just coming back with a different mentality,
Absolutely.
You can go back and say, oh, it's city life,
sure.
I'm not going to be able to do it. But if you seek it out, you'll find it.
There you go. Life is choice and experience, right? So you can. And that doesn't change from England to Costa Rica. You can make the right choices to heal and transform your life, and you can stay this way. And you've learned that here, man. And you've got it done. You were in it to win it from day one. Congratulations, man. You do not have colitis anymore. You really don't, and as the days go on, that will become more and more ingrained.
Yep. Yeah. It's part of your history now.
Yeah.
You're on your way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I believe.
Yeah.
It's done.
I love
we
you,
love
man.
you, Adam.
Seriously.
Love you too.
Mates forever, Farm of Life family forever. Adam Lucas. Goodbye, Farm of Life family.
Bye-bye.
Bye.